Hi, this is Shreya TV and you're watching Conversations with Shreya. Here we discuss stories of courage to lead and sustain. If you haven't watched the first episode already, then you must, because there are real jewels of wisdom in that. But if you have watched it, then welcome back. If you're interested to create something that truly resonates with your own philosophy, then you're going to enjoy this episode. Bonus, if you enjoy dressing, fashion, styling, for business or just for yourself, you're in for a treat because my guest today is going to show us how to live and create the dreams of our life. Akshika is the founder and creative director of Rareism, a women's clothing label which is blooming at light speed with a presence in 7 cities and 9 physical stores in India and 18 multi-point in sales in all of just 9 months into its launch. In what started as a hobby through some part-time interior design projects soon became a full-time thriving business venture. Akshika has invested in building a highly talented, young and skilled team of designers, technical experts and seamstresses, all of who work tirelessly to enhance the core philosophy of the brand, which is, at no point should their clothes dominate the authentic personality of the wearer. Rareism is the sister brand of an older men's clothing label, Rare Rabbit, and together both these labels are housed under the name House of Rare. The brand does its bit in contributing back to the society, and it starts with having a 95% women representation in their workforce, who not only get their meals provided by the company, but also sanitary and medical assistance whenever required. Akshika is a fierce global traveler, which she believes has added to her understanding of global fashion and made her embrace diverse personal styles, which she recreates back home at Rareism. Akshika has a linear vision of taking Rareism to global heights and has already started her groundwork in entering the European markets. She loves indulging in her family and friends who believe she's truly spirited and multifaceted with interests in music, dance, outdoor adventures and reading. Akshika is authentic and stylish from outside but simple from within, and she ensures her brand breathes the same definition. She lives with her husband and 3 children in Bangalore. Akshika,
Hi.
I am so happy to have you here because I remember from the first time, when we connected for a project and I checked in Rareism and I had an instant connect with the brand. I've shared that with you. I had
Yes,
an
you
instant
have. Yes.
connect with not only the clothes but also the deeper meaning and the philosophy that Rareism has. And from there to getting to know you as a person, it has been such a pleasant experience. So you're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Shreya. It's a pleasure actually to be here and to be recognized for something that you believe in.
Absolutely.
Which is why I'm happy to be here too.
Oh
So,
yes,
thank you very
and
much.
congratulations first of all for the spiraling
I know.
growth that Rareism
Yes.
has been experiencing.
Absolutely. It's actually till now it's been an uphill roller coaster, which is very exhilarating.
Yeah.
And it's been an exciting journey so far.
Yeah.
Creating the brand, opening that many stores and other points of sales.
Yes.
It's been very exciting. It's very
sure.
new a journey for me, but
Yeah.
it's also very it's very new, but it's been so far so good.
So good. I think it's going to just even grow better because one gets a sense and feel of
Right.
from the get-go, and I have a feeling this is going to go everywhere where you want to take it.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
Akshika, I have so many things to ask you today and I want to get right into it. But, first of all, behind all this success and adulation that you rightly deserve is a long break, a break of what, 20 years?
Plus minus, yes.
Yeah, from the time of your interior designing days to then you getting married and bearing children and nourishing them, to now a full-fledged business person. I want to know from you, what motivated you to get into business, especially when motherhood has been so fulfilling for you?
So yeah, you rightly said motherhood has been my essence till now, honestly. But there comes a point in your life after you've had 3 children.
Yeah.
That you want to then start doing something that you believe in or you aspire or something you end up finding or looking for things for yourself. There has to be, and I think every woman should go there. It doesn't necessarily have to be business oriented, but there does come a point in life where you look for things just to satisfy yourself and feel the connect to your, it's more or less like refinding yourself. So that's something that I was dabbling with. It took me about a year and a half to think of what I want to do, and I was getting no answers, because interiors has been it was my education, but a very brief stint into that, but I haven't, after that, for almost 20-21 years, there was no work life for me at all. Now to get back into it, there was a lot of question marks, where, what, all of that, but then I did get into garments because I've had a very strong garment background. My father's business was into garments. He was an exporter. Then I got married, and my husband was into textiles, and also he became an exporter after we got married. So there has been a very strong background for me. So it kind of felt very natural coming into it. And again, like, I've always been very fond of dressing up, very fond of, most women are. So so I guess it just kind of took a natural curve towards it, not without its challenges, of course. But it was the right thing for me. It just kind of fell into place.
I like what you said, that, and I'm happy each time I hear a woman who says that I started thinking about myself at a certain point of time. And I love what you said, that, it doesn't necessarily have to be something really big like a business. But even if you want to pursue something, some passion,
some hobby,
or anything that you connect with. And that you listened to yourself, you heard yourself when you were getting,
because I did dabble into different hobbies and things like that, but nothing was satisfying me. So it has to be, I just believe so much in keep trying till you find the right answer or the right connect,
and you do get that.
Yes, you get
really
it.
kind of soul searching,
gets into a spark, it just really gets there.
That's wonderful. You've been talking about the struggles also, and I think that's the next thing I want to talk about, that a lot of times, mothers kind of struggle to take a leap into their true calling, and I think most of the times it is the guilt. The guilt that, my children are going to get neglected, or their upbringing is going to get affected in some way or the other. But I've seen you kind of, take this leap in a very sophisticated way. But I want to know from you, what have been some of the specific challenges you faced transitioning from this full-fledged mother to now a full-fledged businesswoman?
So you see, like, when I started, like, you're absolutely right. I was so guilty every time I couldn't pick up my child from school. Or I was so guilty if I wasn't there to feed him his, evening meal. It was very, very, like, disheartening in the beginning. But then I kind of figured that, he's growing up fine. Like, there is no issue. When I come back, I still get that warm hug. There is still the quality time. There is still, and honestly, I do have a good support system back home, which helps me to pursue my dreams. But at the same time, there are a lot of things that I have to give up because I want to still be a mom. That's definitely, again, it's been my essence for so long that I don't think I can give that up. So it's difficult creating the balance, but I think if and when one wants to, you can. Like, I bring my child into work a lot of times. So he's with me, he's drawing, he's, creating patterns out of things and things like that. My older ones one is already independent, he's in college. The second one is pretty independent. So, I'm not so worried about them as much as my youngest one. But so I compensate a lot by getting him into office. He's, I feel also that's a very good learning space for him. Not that, again, like, there is a little bit of privilege because not everybody gets a chance to bring their kids into work. But at our workplace, we do encourage mums and dads to bring their kids if and whenever they need to. If they don't have a nanny or they don't have a support system. Of course, not daily, and I don't bring my own child daily, but a lot of times, our fathers and mothers of the office, of my employees, they all bring their kids in. So it's a good working environment with the kids around.
That is so interesting, Akshika, because what I'm also understanding is that sometimes this guilt kind of moves into an excuse.
Absolutely.
And then the more you keep giving into it, the more you keep succumbing.
I think if you want something badly, you just find ways to do it, and without feeling guilty. So you just have to want something, and don't hurry into wanting something. Just keep exploring and exploring and exploring. Something will come to you which just resonates and fits in very rightly. It's like a puzzle that, you find that piece and it connects just perfectly. That's how it is.
Yes. And I also liked what you said, that even your workspace is in a way a learning environment for your child.
Absolutely,
And every place is a new because at
stimulator,
this age,
right?
Stimulator, and you're doing that, so that's such a pro that it's an inspiration for not only me but a lot of us who are kind of watching this and thinking, hey, should I now do this? Even for simple things like if somebody wants to work out, a new mom, let's say, and she doesn't find the time to work out, sometimes I just feel you can just put the child in front of you and then work out and dance with them. So this is interesting, Akshika. Akshika, you are a creator of something related to fashion and styling, but I feel that whenever we set out to create anything, there's almost always this sense of fear trigger that happens. It's kind of automated in a lot of us, and again I feel that you have maybe dealt with that fear with a lot of grace. However, I want to go back and ask you, how did you deal with the questions and the doubts and the fears that must have come into your mind when you were starting Rareism?
So like you said rightly, there are always fears and doubts. My fears were, of course, personal, that will I be able to do something? Like I said, there's such a long gap that I've had. So I wasn't sure if I was capable enough to do this. At the same time, my husband, my children really supported me for my personal fears, really encouraging me, helping me. I still remember the day when we first made our flow chart. It was just so amazing with my oldest one and my husband and I sitting down on the floor and making flow charts of how the brand should flow and how the communication should flow and what kind of a team would I need, etc., etc., etc. So that was encouraging, and then I jumped into it. When I jumped into it, the fears of choosing the right fabrics to the right styles to the right colors, all of that sets in. That's the second challenge one, right? And then I was very fortunate again to have a fantastic team to begin with. Like I really got this group of women who are so talented and so dedicated that I was blessed for that, for sure. But then I remember the day we launched online and had our first store opening. Oh my God, I don't think I've had such a scary night in my entire life. I'm, well into my 40s, but yeah, it was crazy when I couldn't sleep the entire night. I was extremely nervous, shouting at everybody in the house. The response was, good, really good the first day. So it kind of felt okay. But then at every store opening, every day there is that thing that, is it going to be accepted? The new collection, is it going to be accepted or not? There are times when we get negative feedback and positive feedback. I, of course, get very excited with the positive feedback. With the negative feedback, there is a dip, but then that dip leads you into wanting to create better. So that's something that, I think everybody should take it as, like every time you have a negative feedback, don't think that it's all gonna go wrong. It has gone wrong because you can improve on it, right? Like you can't be perfect.
Absolutely.
So you have to keep working on those things. So like fears, doubts, everything is internal, it has to just keep working, and you have to work towards perfection.
Absolutely.
But in the meanwhile, enjoy the process. That's extremely important. We forget to enjoy the process because we're so striving hard to work towards the goal, right?
Correct.
But the goal is today. The goal is tomorrow.
Now, today and tomorrow, and you want to live that as well.
Absolutely, you have to live in the moment. It's again, like, it's so easy for me to say that, but it is tough sometimes. But then you get over it every day.
Each time I speak to leaders like you, and I hear so much consistency in the spirit and the attitude of the person, because I remember you were telling me once that when you entered into the clothing business, it was like a whirlpool, and it kept sucking you in. But what I loved that you said afterwards was that as much as I was getting sucked in, I was finding myself.
Yes.
And I just felt, wow, it just makes me feel that everybody has their own share of struggles.
Yeah, because there's so many aspects of you which actually become dormant, right?
Yeah.
So when you have one role, like of course I didn't have one role. I was a mom, I was a wife, I was a homemaker, all of that. But it's still into one sphere, right? And then when you explore a new thing, there are different aspects that you find, different strengths, different weaknesses, and the strengths are of course great to work upon, but then it's also very exciting to work upon your weaknesses and then go forward, right?
Absolutely.
So conquering all of that, like in fact Rareism's main quote is believe, inspire, conquer. That comes from this, right? Like you have to start believing in yourself. You have to start inspiring or getting inspiration. It can work both ways.
Correct.
From yourself, your surroundings, and the people around you. And then conquer not the world. Like so a lot of people think, why conquer? Because you have to conquer yourself. So the whole idea of Rareism is to build that into yourself and the people around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, me and my girls in the office also discuss the same thing, that it's about us. It's not so that, I guess that's where they get their dedication and their spirit to work from. It's a beautiful family there, so they also work towards this.
Correct. And I loved how you said that this could also be, this is always a learning. It's you're becoming.
Yes.
Each day.
It's a becoming, right? I mean, I like that.
Yeah. So that's wonderful. Akshika, this is brilliant. I remember when once you're telling me that the launch of Rareism got slightly delayed because you were busy doing surveys and in-depth research.
Right.
And you come across as a detailed person, but I want to know from you, why has it been so important to get into the groundwork and research and detailing, and how has that helped Rareism?
So when the idea came around to launch the women's brand, I saw there was so much available, right, in India as well.
Yes.
I wouldn't say like there's a lot of Indian wear. I wanted to always do contemporary wear because I felt there was a lack of that market more than Indian wear. And when I wanted to do, I didn't want to just launch something without thinking through, right? Like Indian bodies are different, Indian color sensibilities are different. I had to match all of that to my own sensibilities as well, right? Like you can't launch something that is not close to you. That's what I believe in, at least. And so my groundwork involved a lot of studying the body types. It involved a lot of colors that Indian, like I mean, internationally, if you see, there are a lot of more earthy colors and soothing colors. But India is vibrant, right? And you want to give that vibrancy without taking away, like for me, the idea was to launch Rareism with a sense of enhancing the woman, not overpowering her, right? So I had to give the styles, the silhouettes, and the colors which enhances all skin types. Now we have all sorts of, like India is so large a country, and the demographics demand that we have very fair skinned and very dark skinned women, right? And all sorts of shades in between. So even when we choose a color, for example, it's tried on 5 different skin tones. It should look and complement most of them.
Wow.
I can't always promise personal preferences, but we do, like even a pale blue or a pink or a thing, it should complement all the 5 skin tones that we have. And then again the body types, right? Like because like we have from XLs to double XLs to XSs, and I would like to cater to all of those women out there. So this kind of work needed much more groundwork than styling and what's in trend. Because trends is something that comes today and goes tomorrow, right? It's something that what stays with you is your style.
Yes.
And that's what I took longest to